So Steve, you're a well-known climber. You helped pioneer over 250 new climbs in 6 continents.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive, and I know you've written some climbing books, right?
Yeah.
Is climbing your passion, your first passion, for when it comes to athletics?
When it comes to athletics, that's the most important thing for me. You know, I like riding my bike and running, and even could occasionally tell you that I like lifting weights. Mm-hmm. But none of those things are nearly as engaging as climbing. Climbing is interesting because it's the only athletic pursuit I've ever had where I couldn't multitask. Mm-hmm. You know, because I zone out when I'm running or riding my bike, or when I'm lifting weights even. But when you're actually within the framework of a climb, out on the rock, everything else falls away, and you can focus only on that one thing, and it's really cathartic. I think it's real valuable in that way. And, you know, after years of analysis, rather than just saying, oh, I just like it better than I like anything else, I think that's probably why I like it better. Just because it's, you know, it's
in the moment.
It clears everything out of the way. Yeah.
Right.
So.
I was going to ask why you like climbing. Other than that, what about, you know, maybe you can explain it. I have to say, most of the people who are going to view this, they don't really have any idea when I say you rock climb, what that means.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people think that climbing, you know, like going up Mount Everest is climbing. And that's not really the sport that we do. We're rock climbers, and so you basically seek out the greatest challenge possible on a given section of rock. And, you know, what we've done over the years is gone all over the world and looking for the coolest or the funnest climbs, or the most unlikely ones, and then trying to make those ascents happen. And so as far as climbing goes, it's not just a physical thing. It's not just this thug sport. There's a whole bunch of analysis that goes in. There's a lot of problem solving, dealing with, you know, weather and fatigue and nutrition and all these sorts of things. And then it's sort of like, while you're engaged in this terribly intense physical struggle, you've also got to play this mind game. It's like, you know, figuring out how to get up the rock. It's sort of like, you know, playing chess while you're wrestling.
That's interesting. So give me an example. You're on a cliff. I know there's a route there's probably many routes that you're working on, but I know there's one in particular that I was going to film you on earlier up at Sinks. Can you explain a little bit about the climb itself, like what it looks like? And
yeah, well,
is it a cliff or a crack or?
Yeah, to kind of back up a little bit, like at our home area, and the main reason that we live in Lander, because you know, there's a lot of wonderful towns around, but Lander's got one climbing area, Sinks Canyon, that tends to be good climbing year-round. And that's the reason that we live here. And beyond that, this cliff, the main Sinks cliff, has about 300 or so climbs on it of all kinds of difficulties. And depending on the phase of the year, you can be doing lots of easy climbing, lots of what we call volume climbing, or toward about 3 times a year, we'll get into what we call peak condition, and then try to do one of the harder routes there. And for me, the climb I'm working on now is a stamina route. Doesn't allow a lot of rest. It's really overhanging.
What is the grade, or what's it called? Or
it's the grades don't mean a lot to most people, but this is a 513 route.
Okay. Wow.
And that's one of the harder grades at Sinks. It's not the hardest single route up there, but
what makes this one hard? Are there little holds or any holds, or?
Yeah, the holds are small.
Like actually, how small? Like if you had to like
some of them you can only get like the pads of your fingers on. You know, like 4 or 5 or 3, 4 fingers, maybe 5 fingers on some of them. But there are also a lot of big holds on it. The thing that is tiring is it's so overhanging. It overhangs maybe 30 feet. You know, in about 80 feet. And so you're on your arms the whole time. And so it's a real challenge in that way.